and welcome to another episode of Crush That Exam. My name is Dr. Erica Ligons, licensed clinical psychologist and exam coach. I am so excited to share with you yet another story of someone who has overcome the EPPP. I can't wait to share their story with you. So please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are.
I am Dr. Keisha Downey. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and now a licensed clinical psychologist. I practice in the state of California and in the state of Illinois. And I've been doing this for about 20 years now, a little bit over 20 years now. And I recently, this month, conquered the EPPP after 9 attempts. So I am really happy to be here to share my story.
Wonderful, yes. And what a story you have of perseverance and what it means to walk through the fire and really come out of the ashes, you know?
Yes,
So
yes.
tell us, what was your experience like with the EPPP prior to working with me?
So I started this journey in actually the first exam was November of 2021. I feel like I started into this exam kind of like how I would always approach an exam, wait to the last minute, procrastinate, all of the things. Um, so I literally started studying probably like July of 2021, but I was traveling, doing things, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just go in and get a feel. Maybe I'll pass it. Really not understanding how intense this exam or how hard this exam would be. And also, I was up against a time crunch where I had to pass the exam before 2022, January 2022 of January 2022, before I would have to like start all over from scratch with asking for approval from the board of Illinois. So in November of 2021, I took the exam, failed it, of course, a very, very low score, like 300, I don't know, 20, something like that. And then because of crunch time, I took it again. I got an exam date like a month later, December the 18th, and I took it again. I think it went up like a few points. Um, and so then I started talking to some of my colleagues, inquiring about what to do. And I got serious. I had to go through the approval process again. I got a better feel of what the exam was like. And so they told me about ATABs. And so I started with ATABs, and it was a lot of information, Dr. Liggins, like a lot of information. Um, I had a coach then, but it was a coach that came with the package, and it just wasn't you. But again, I didn't know anything about you yet, but it came with that package. It was more of like a, how are you doing? Can I help you with the material? That type of thing. And it wasn't like as consistent. So again, didn't really know anything about the prep stuff because remember the first time I started this journey, didn't really know what I was doing. So I failed the exam a few more times and then I was introduced to PrepJet. And PrepJet was a little bit better. It resembled more of the exam. And then I was Googling and I came across your profile. Actually, you know what? I'm back. I've had so many experiences. No, you were referred to me. There was one lady who I was following her on Facebook, and I can't remember her name, but she was an amazing person because she referred me to you. And it's just been smooth sailing since then. But to answer your question specifically, I was all over the place before meeting you. And I wanted to kind of share a little bit of my experience as to what I was kind of going through. And so once we met, I felt like you just helped me get organized. You gave me something to work with, what to do. And it just, like I said, once it was just smooth sailing from there.
Got it. And we'll get into a little more specifics about what was most
Okay.
helpful. But so you had been kind of stumbling through the process, trying to figure this thing out, going from here to there, trying different programs, trying a little bit of coaching, but it wasn't quite in depth enough. It sounds like it was a little bit more non-directive, like, hey, how you doing kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that didn't quite work for you. And so someone referred you. What made you say, okay, you know what? I think I should try this coach, meaning me.
Your success stories, because once I feel like by this time, I had done a lot of research on other people. And so when this particular person had referred me to you, of course, I went to your website, I looked at your reviews and all that good stuff. And so when we met, you told me you would not work with me until I got things off of my plate. And that was different for me.
I sure
Like,
did. I turned you away.
even
Not
though,
really. I didn't turn you away. I just said you ain't ready yet.
yes, yes, exactly. And so that was different because I have, bouts of anxiety and I want what I want right then and there. And so that was like a shocker to me. So it was different. And I was like, okay. So yeah. So your reviews, success stories, and then just how you approach me. Of course, very gently, clearly, because I came back. So yes, it was great.
So that's actually one of the things I think that a lot of people tell me is because my coaching approach isn't just about the studying, it's really about looking at you as a whole person.
Mhm.
Uh, because I'm not really just coaching the exam and how to pass the exam, I'm coaching the person.
Yeah.
And so at the beginning of the coaching relationship, there is this full 1 hour intake
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
really got to get to know you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And really quickly, I realized you were doing the most. And this is a very common thread that I see with many people. And so I had to give some really direct feedback around that. And so we kind of held off on starting to study because I
Yeah.
had to make sure you, your life, and your support system were ready for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then we got to work. And can you go into a little bit more depth about what felt the most helpful? Maybe just a couple of things about not only my audio program, but meeting with me, as well as you also utilize the parallel study sessions as well. We miss seeing you
Yeah.
in there. I
Yes.
miss square, but it's for that reason because you're done with this exam.
Yes. 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 You know, um, Again, something that stood out, one about just you helped me see that you can't be superwoman and do everything. Like you have to take care of yourself. And that was one of the most important things that stood out to me, like from the beginning. Like you need to take things off of your plate to be able to focus. So that was something that really helped. Like you literally, like we broke it down. You need to wait till you finish this and wait till you stop the traveling and your caseload, you're saying like 30, 40 patients. Oh no, we have to like bring that down. Like your being specific about things really helped my brain. And so moving into when we started the coaching, again, telling me literally what I needed to do for me, it really helped. So the snowball method, I mean, that was a game changer. Meeting with you every Sunday, like knowing that I was going to see you initially every Sunday, but initially knowing that I was going to see you on Sundays, it was just a part of my routine. So again, my brain functions better like that. But that snowball effect was a game changer. I mean, as you know, like going up 100 points, that's kind of like, I don't know, it's unheard of to me, but like just, it was amazing. And then just your encouragement. You did not give up on me. It felt like a therapy session, kind of going through this process with you, because again, it's not really about the exam. It's
Mhm.
about the person. And so I feel like you learned a lot about me, even personal things, and you worked around that, as best as we could. Like, that's okay. You're sick. That is fine. You got to do this over here. Like no pressure. So it was a combination of things. So
Yeah, I think that's the thing people aren't expecting when they come into coaching. Because a lot of times, again, high achievers, very goal oriented, very task oriented, are often like, give me the test taking strategies. Now, looking back, being on the other side of it now, if I had just given you test taking strategies, where do you think you'd be right now?
there's so much more. So
It's
much
so
more to
much
that.
more.
So much more. You have all the test taking strategies. I mean, I did your audio. I did all of that. It still didn't work. You know what I mean? Like it still didn't help. I needed so many more things. And then when we came together on this last go round, and you were like, Keisha, medication. I mean, again, something that I probably would not have done. But again, with the coaching, looking at the whole person, it just helped. And so here we are.
Absolutely. So really all the pieces together, right? Like the audio program alone provided the foundation of here are some strategies, but those regular visits of encouragement and helping you to take the system and put it into your life. And the
Yeah.
snowball study method is highly effective, but it's got to be tailored to each person.
Yes.
And you were someone who really liked a high level of structure. I think it brought a lot of calm for you
Mhm.
and direction. And so for you, we planned down to the detail what you were, because that's what you like. Now, other
Yeah.
people, we do the snowball method slightly differently. I might give them, okay, here's your task for the week. You decide how it looks. But you wanted, no, we're going to decide on Monday. What am I doing? On Tuesday? And that's what you liked. That's what you needed. And that's what we did.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think
Yes.
that's one of the most fun things about being a coach is that every person is like a little bit different. So everyone's using the snowball method,
Yeah.
but but the way in which we execute it and how I guide them through it is different based on their needs, which is really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And a little medication goes a long way. So
Mhm.
you were dealing with some significant test anxiety, which I dealt with as well, and I was well medicated on my test day, as well as prayed up and all sorts of different things I was doing. And yes, so you initially saw a huge improvement with using my program, but we didn't quite hit the mark, and so we had to come back and attempt again.
Yeah.
And there was a
But
point in
so close though, but so close. That's how we
so
knew.
close. I mean, and when she says 100 point, like we are not like this is not hyperbole. When she said improved 100 point, that was no joke. And then you came back and improved again even more and got
Yeah.
over that hump and was
Yeah.
able to bring it on home comfortably. You passed comfortably.
Yeah.
So we worked together for I get how because there were some breaks in there where I didn't see you for a period of time, and then you came back to me because you had attempted again on your own, and then that wasn't successful for you, and then you came back to coaching, and we pulled out all the stuff. We left no stone unturned that last time,
Yes. Yes.
and so I don't even remember now. How long was it from all together that we worked together?
So I met with you probably in March. I had failed an exam and we met like probably in March, April of 2022 initially.
Okay.
And then I went over my life and you were like, let's come back together like end of June. And so we got back together end of June. You wanted me to kind of like enjoy the summer because again, I didn't know what that looked like. And so it was then where the snowball method started for me. And then we had a test date in December. And so I think we pushed it out just because maybe my nerves and things like that. But we started intensely based off of, what was set for me, like with the snowball effect, like breaking it down to 30 minutes here, an hour here, like it was really broken down. And so that time alone took me from a 388 to a 488 when I tested in December. And so in December, I failed and then I took the time off. It was the holidays, literally.
Yeah, it was like a week before Christmas
Yeah,
or something like that. I
yeah,
remember.
exactly. And then 2023 came around, and then I feel like I was discouraged when I failed, and I took it again, and no one knew. So that's when I didn't
Even
tell
me.
yeah, didn't even tell anyone because I was just like, I'm just go in there and just take this exam again and try it again or what have you. Um, and so I failed, and we got back together last year, probably like May or so. So maybe like because I had failed it, I was very discouraged after that. I was doing some filming for TV. So I had a lot of other things going on. So we got back together. And then once we got back together, I fessed up and told you what I had done. Like I'm not telling anybody else, only you. And I think at that point I explained to you like just a little embarrassment, felt I can go in and pass it and then come back and tell you that I passed it and things like that. And so literally, I feel like that's when we started, but then we got back together and we did things a little bit differently. You approached me with different things to do differently, and it just went from there. So
Yeah, because and this is real. Sometimes it will take more than one go with the coach to get there.
mhm.
And I'm glad that's why I like doing these interviews because we get to like look behind the curtain a little bit because
Mhm.
people see people at the end when they're like, look at my score, and they
Yeah,
don't see
yeah,
the it's May 2024 right now.
yeah,
So people didn't get to see those 2 years of work that was done between us. And so, yes, you came back, you were like, I had tried to do it by myself and it didn't go well. And but it was okay. We picked you up, dusted you off, and got you back on track. Really did a deep analysis to see, okay, what else are we missing? Figured out what was missing. And the next time it all worked out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the things too, when we got back together in May, again, I don't think we started right in it because I had shared some personal things with you and I had been neglecting everything. And you were like, oh my goodness, you cannot just work and study, Keisha. And that's what I was doing. I was working and studying and did not have a life. And so, yeah, that again, helping me to understand no, 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 we got to do this differently. And so then you gave me free time. So again, my literal brain, you were able to put into my schedule free time for me, as silly as that may sound, but it helped me. It gave me permission to do so. And so, yeah, it just went from there. So, yeah,
Absolutely. Having balance is hard for high achievers,
yeah.
especially when you're tired. You just want to get this done.
Mhm.
You've put time and money into this. You just want it over. It's very easy to slip into a very dark place with
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
And when you came back, you were not in a good place. Uh, this had really taken you down a bit. And
yeah,
so we kind of had to stop, regroup, and again, looking at you as a whole person,
yeah.
not just, okay, well, this is what your last score was, and this is what you need to do, and this is
Mhm.
how many. Nope, I had to look at you as a whole person.
Yeah,
And I was like, you were burnt out, stressed out, overwhelmed. I got to
yeah,
get you back to a good place first.
yeah, yeah,
And that's why I teach slow and steady wins the race. Because had we just kept pushing and pushing when you were in that kind of place and didn't put balance back in and help you to get your mind right, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
yeah, yeah,
We really
yeah.
wouldn't.
No,
So, what was
I
the hardest thing you had to overcome through this process?
the hardest thing to overcome through this process, you know, honestly, I feel like I lost myself
Mhm.
in this entire process. Like again, I have two adult children. This exam was more difficult than giving birth to my kids. Um, this is the hardest thing that I have ever had to overcome because I hope this doesn't come off cocky, but usually when I set my mind on something or I have goals, I achieve them. And Dr. Liggins, 9 times,
Yeah.
9 times, $10,000 later. I mean, like, this this was the hardest thing that I have ever had to achieve because again, I've even taken the LMFT exam and it took me 3 times, but I was studying the wrong material. So I can give myself a pass and things like that. But this one, it messes with you. So again, the hardest part of this exam is I feel like I lost myself. And yeah, my like I literally like it was study, work, study, work, study, work. It was not a lot of anything else. And so, yeah. And also just, can I do it? Can I do it? Do I have what it takes? I know I'm a good clinician. Woo, I know I'm a good, well, what is it about this material that I can't get past? So yeah, that was the hardest thing for me.
Yeah. I thank you for your just being like raw about that because I think that's one of the hardest things for me as a coach is watching people be broken down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And knowing what I know and just knowing that this test is passable. And obviously, I'm sitting always in a place of hope. And I can see it a lot of the time before my coaching clients can see it, right? Just
Yeah.
because my own
Yeah.
personal experience and then the wonderful experiences I've had with people like you. But when I'm looking at someone who does not see it for themselves, but I know
Hmm.
they can do it's hard to watch people in that place, but you came back from that. And I'm so glad you did. Like, I know there were days when you were like, this is the last time. I just can't. I just think this is it. Like, I just don't think I can. I mean, and that felt very real in those moments when you were like,
Yeah.
I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I could like felt it to my bones, like what you were saying and where you were at. So
Yeah.
for anyone who's watching this, where you've gotten to that place as well, where you just feel like you are absolutely done and there's no hope for you, I promise you there is. Um, Let me help you because
Yes.
you can get there. So when you look back on it now, anything that you would do differently in this whole process, you could go back to yourself from the very beginning and give yourself any advice to Keisha in March of 2021, you could talk to her, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to think about think about her. Like, what are her needs when you are up against an exam, period, right? Do the research, find the right people to support you through this process. Again, just really understanding what you need for you, because everything that works for other people do not necessarily work for you. So I would definitely do a lot of research. It's And again, this is not because I'm speaking to you or you're right in front of me. Like, I don't know if, like, what you have created, the parallel like groups, like it really helps somebody with my brain. it's a, it's like yeah, it's again, it's not about the test. It's if it were, we can just go to anyone. It's just you look at the whole person. So again, I would tell the old 2021 person to think about what it is that I need for me, do the research and get the support system set up from the beginning, and just walk through everything step by step. And I feel like it would be and just explore all options, attack the material differently, all things that you've taught me through this process. um yeah, it's just all things you've taught me through this process. And I it one story that I think is funny, sad, but like really, really great. When I walked into the testing center, I had a cry attack, I'll just call it. My medication hadn't kicked in yet. And
Oh, I know what that feels like. Woo, and
the
you just break down.
yes, and the
Yes.
testing proctor, she was a little stern. She was like, "Yeah, you got to go in." And I'm like, "Oh," she said, "Are you about to cry?" And it just all came, "Oh my gosh, just have a seat." So I went, once I got myself together and I sat down at the desk to start. Literally, the first 5 questions were the easiest questions I have ever seen in my entire life. And that's when I knew the universe, my faith, and everything was on my side. And it gave me the courage to get through the next several hours. But the funny, sad, and I think a great ending to all of this is, as you know, there's 2 sheets of paper that come out, and usually that signifies that you have failed the exam, the score sheet and
Yeah.
then the bar graph. So as I'm checking out with my fingerprinting, the other lady watched, she said, "I'm not really sure what these 2 pieces of paper mean." And I'm like, "It means I failed." And I started to get discouraged and was like, "You've got to be kidding me." And I looked at it and it was just an extra sheet of paper and it said my score. And I was like, "I passed." And I started crying. And the two testing proctors, they started crying with me. It was just the best thing ever because they saw me crying initially. They knew this was my 9th time. And so luckily it was a late exam and nobody else was really there. So we weren't disrupting anyone. But that feeling and just the support right in that space with those 2 people who don't know me from anyone to just sharing that, that was, like, the best feeling, like,
Oh, and I bet
yeah,
they'll
that
never
was
forget that either.
yeah, they knew they made my day because it was just like, yeah. So a lady who kind of started out stern was able to what felt like empathize with me with how scared I was. There was one lady in the testing center. She was like, just pray because she saw how anxious I was getting. The test anxiety was kicking in before the medication had. And it was just, I think that topped everything. To end that way was amazing. So yeah. And I cried
Oh.
all the way home. So, yeah. So yeah, great.
Yes, and then I think you called me, and then we
Yeah,
were able to talk,
yeah,
shortly thereafter, no?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Before as I was driving, yeah, I pulled it together. So yes. Just everything just a great day. Still disbelief, but a great day.
Yeah, I know, to think that that extra piece of paper was actually blank.
Yes.
Oh, thank God, because usually it has the bar graph to show you,
Yes.
oh,
Oh, I know all too well. Yes.
yeah, but do you have your other score sheets from when those other attempts?
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like this is just my little dream or something. I feel like we need to turn that into like some kind of art piece. Really, where you
Yes.
oh, I could cry right now thinking about it.
Yes.
Where you have them lined up,
Yeah. Because it literally just went up. It just went up.
and
Wow.
then having that one at the end, and maybe some quote above it that says like "never give up" or something. I can we make that happen? Like I just think that would be so beautiful to have
Yeah.
that in your home, and whenever you're going through a tough moment in life, you just can look at that and be like, well, if I got through that, I can do anything. It's just so beautiful. So, what would you tell someone who's watching this and they're like, I don't know about this coaching stuff. What is this parallel study stuff? This audio program that like I don't get it. Like, how is this going to help me? What would you tell someone who's considering, my program?
One, I would say to definitely, for me, like explore all your options. And if this is an option, you have nothing to lose by trying it. Um, it's just a game changer. I don't know for someone like me who has taken this exam 9 times and who has done everything. And when I say everything, like different preps materials, taking time off, sneaking and taking an exam, thinking I was going to pass it, trying to like everything possible. Um, to come to the end and know what has worked, yeah, again, I'm not gospel or, can't tell people what to do, but this, you have nothing to lose. But it really, this process helps to just keep individuals on task. And we're psychologists. We went to school for this. We know that we need to study. We know we need to do things differently. We know we need to find ways to implement balance in our lives because we're adults now. We have things going on. So to have someone to keep us on track, to have the space to just focus on this for not all day, just a certain period of time, to give us the encouragement, to give us the testing tools, to help us give, even you have an audio to give to our family members to help them understand how this all works. Like this is a game changer. And I'm hoping that I'm just an example or a story. Like, don't give up because you will pass that. You will pass. You will pass. You will pass. You will pass because I did. 9 times you will pass. Nine is divine. There we go.
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you so much for speaking that and just, giving people that encouragement and support that they need. So my last question is, now that you are on the other side, it's nice over here, isn't it? I swear the air is like fresher.
It
Something's
is.
different over here. And I
Yes.
want everyone to be over here. I want everyone to experience this. But now that you're here, uh, I know you're still getting used to the fact that you passed because it's been quite a journey, and so you're still settling into it. But are there any things that you've been able to enjoy, either in your free time or whatever, or things that you're looking forward to doing now that you've got time back
Yeah.
and money? God,
So
any more money on this stuff.
Yeah. Yes. No more money on this stuff. Oh my goodness, that is definitely true. Um, I got to spend time immediately, like a week later. Talk about timing. My grandson turned 3, so I was able to enjoy his birthday in peace. I mean, it was the best feeling ever. I got to celebrate my partner's birthday this weekend, traveling, just getting back to Keisha. But I feel like this exam taught me so much more about myself. And so it's like this new norm for me, like going through a different lens, because again, this was one of the hardest things I've ever had to get over or get through. So um, I'm looking to expand, do things business wise. But again, it's just giving me time to just kind of do me. Um, yeah, and I'm just super glad it is over. So
I'm glad it's over for you too. I officially welcome you. You are free from the EPPP.
yes,
And
that
yes,
rhymes.
I know. I tried a little bit. So I wish you, nothing but like tons of fun, prosperity, and just peace.
Yes, 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 yes. And I'm feeling that. I am embracing that. I'm going to own that. And I just want to thank you because I'm telling you, you were you were different for me. Were not afraid to tell me what I need. Yeah, it was and very gentle. Like I've worked with people that were, yeah, but this is just I'm just glad that you came into my life. You are a huge component into why I passed this exam. So it is I mean, even the medication piece, I would have never, ever, ever taken the medication. And it didn't hurt me. I'm still here. See? So yeah.
Yes,
So
you are. Well, congratulations again, Keisha.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really appreciate you so much. So and the parallel studies, I'm thinking of like coming back in there just to kind of keep myself on task when I have free time. So yes, I mean, what you're, I know I said this a bit ago, but what you have created is not like anything else. And it's just, yeah, this is a great thing for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you.